The last scout here. I came across this article, and rather than just do a radio report about it, I thought it was worth delving into to take a closer look. And it came from U.S. News and World Report dated November 8th, 2017, or correction, December 8th, 2017. And the headline reads, Oklahoma border town leery of planned bioterrorist test. Residents of the small town of Newkirk, Oklahoma are worried about Department of Homeland Security plans to conduct a bioterrorism response drill near town. From Newkirk, Oklahoma, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security announcement that it was conducting biosecurity drills in Oklahoma farming town of Newkirk was tucked among the local weekly newspaper's classified ads. The notice mentioned a low-level outdoor release of inert chemical and biological simulant materials and directed people to a science-heavy website explaining why the agency chose the community. The Newkirk Herald-Journal thought it should be front-page news, and its subsequent article sent shockwaves through the town of about 2,300 people, leaving them wondering why here and questioning the government's assurances about the safety of the chemicals it plans to use during the tests that will gauge how authorities might respond to a bioterror event. They're trying to tell us it's 100% safe, Brian Hobbs, a 40-year-old construction worker who's helped rally like-minded residents. It leaves people with an uneasy feeling. I don't want to become the testing ground for the Department of Homeland Security. About 9,000 wary residents of Newkirk and neighboring communities, including Arkansas City, Kansas, just across the border, have signed a petition seeking more details from the federal agencies. Many residents want guarantees from the government that none of the chemicals will adversely affect nearby cropland, a creek that flows into the Arkansas River, or the massive Kaw Lake watershed. Dozens have shown up at community meetings demanding answers. Newkirk, about 100 miles northwest of Tulsa, near Oklahoma's border with Kansas, is dotted with churches and modest homes with well-tended yards. A grain elevator at the local co-op is the tallest downtown building. Some here trace their lineage to the Oklahoma land rush of 1889 when the area was open to white settlement. A lot of families have grown up here. It's truly home. That's why everybody's scared, said Newkirk Herald-Journal editor Cody Greisel. The tests are tentatively set for winter and summer 2018 with no specific dates from the government. The test area is the abandoned Chilocco Indian School campus just outside of town. The article goes on, and I'll post a link to the bottom for you to read the article in its entirety. But what I got curious about was the Chilocco Indian School that they're holding the test at. And let's see. The Chilocco Indian School was an agricultural school for Native Americans located in north central Oklahoma from 1884 to 1980. It was located approximately 20 miles north of Ponca City, Oklahoma, and 7 miles north of Newkirk, Oklahoma, near the Kansas border. And it goes on, and basically the school was shut down, the Indian school was shut down in 1980 because Congress ceased funding. After the closing, the school's land was granted to 5 local tribes at the Chilocco Development Authority: the Kaw Nation, the Oto Missouri tribe, the Pawnee Nation, the Ponca Nation, and the Tonkawa tribe. The Cherokee Nation holds 50% mineral interest in the land on the Indian school. Between 1989 and 2001, the property was released to Narconon, which operated a substance abuse rehabilitation center at the site, and that closed down in 2011. In October 2016, the Cherokees announced that they were leasing to PNE Wind more than 4,000 acres of Chilocco land for a wind energy project. Now, also in reference to this land, the land has also been leased out. Let me come back up here a little bit. The land has also been leased out. Okay. In 2011, it was closed to the public and used as a training and practice facility for federal law enforcement personnel. And then, like I said, in October 2016, the Cherokees announced they were releasing it to any wind. Now, in November 2017, the Department of Homeland Security released a statement warning the residents they are preparing in the event of a biological attack. According to a 58-page document, chemicals will be released at the Chilocco Indian School in Newkirk. Now, the article that I was reading to you earlier talks about that they're going to do this release of chemicals into the air for this bioterrorism exercise sometime in the winter. That's all it says. And what I'm astounded about is that the Cherokee Nation and all those other nations that have interest on the land lease of the Indian School will allow the federal government to come in and use it for bioterrorism exercises. Because it's like the residents stated in the article, they have no clue what, chemicals are going to be released into the air, released into the environment. Now if you're an advocate against flu shots, if you're an advocate of having fluoride put into your drinking water, then you can understand the concern of these residents. They say that it's not harmful in the article according to the Department of Homeland Security, but we don't know that. That's not a proven fact. What is long term on that? I mean, you look at the nuclear tests that took place in the Nevada desert after World War II. All those people up in White Pine County, Nevada, came down with cancers and all kinds of other illnesses because of the nuclear fallout, and that was settled in a federal court years ago, and you can look that up for yourself. So I'm just letting you know, especially if you're in rural Oklahoma, what's going on in your area if you don't already know about it. And for those of you across the United States, the Department of Homeland Security wants to actually conduct a bioterrorism exercise, releasing chemicals into the air just to see how people will react. I mean, what are they trying to do? Create a zombie apocalypse? Well, they already created the zombie apocalypse with ground zero being University of California at Berkeley. So think about it. Take a look into the links that I'll leave below into this, because I think it's pretty scary. I do not think it is a good thing. And the Department of Homeland Security, no, releasing chemicals into the air just to see how bioterrorists, not terrorists, but how the United States or whatever organizations react to bioterrorism sometime this winter, they say. No, it doesn't work that way. And Cherokee Nation, I hope you and the other nations that have lease interest in this land that was given to you, handed over to you, lock, stock, and barrel, which you're responsible for, I hope your tribal chairmans and your tribal councils get together and put a stop to this test that's about to take place. Anyway, that's all I have to say on the matter. I just wanted to get it out there. This is the Last Scout, and I'm out.